Arson investigation. 2 teenagers killed in a fire deliberately set in North Baltimore. Why police say the blaze could be connected to a shooting earlier this week.
Good evening, I'm Marcus Washington, and that is what people are talking about right now. Public enemy number one. Police are on a manhunt for the person they believe killed 2 people this morning by starting a house fire. Devin Bartolotta reports it's all part of a fast-moving arson investigation on Baltimore's east side. And the names of the 8 victims have not been released. And the remains of an adult and a pet are found in the wreckage of a Montgomery County house fire leveled by an explosion. Matt Uris reports investigators in Rockville are still searching for clues. In recent years, Peter says his neighbor became reclusive and detached, but continued to be well liked in the community. Well, switching gears now, the official start of spring is only a few days away, but some of us could see a little snow tonight. Yeah, you heard me right. A lot of people were out and about earlier tonight in Fells Point enjoying a comfortable evening. Taking a live look outside right now. After a sunny afternoon, some wet weather is moving into our region. WJZ is live with first warning weather coverage. Meteorologist Chelsea Ingram is live with an updated look at the forecast and which areas could see some of that wet snow. Chelsea. And make sure you download WJZ's weather app to keep track of our changing weather. Get hourly, daily, and extended forecasts, plus severe weather warnings. Just search WJZ Weather and download the CBS Baltimore app. His career spanned 7 decades, making it hard for a lot of people to sit still. The legendary rock and roll pioneer Chuck Berry died today, but not before leaving us with music that will rock us all for decades to come. He came onto the music scene in the mid-50s, bringing with him a sound that was catching on called rock and roll. Chuck Berry, with his guitar, voice, and moves, fused country, western, and rhythm and blues.
Go, 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 little Queenie!
Using his talents to entertain many, Berry broke down many racial barriers while performing to mostly white teenage audiences.
Go, go, Johnny be good.
His hits lived on for decades, including Johnny Be Good, Maybelline, and Sweet Little 16, just to name a few. Some of those songs would go on to inspire some of rock and roll's biggest acts, including the Beatles. John Lennon saying if you tried to give rock and roll another name, you might call it Chuck Berry.
Maybelline, why can't you be true?
The birth of rock and roll.
Disc jockey Alan Freed touted Berry's sound.
Alan Freed called it the beat. You gotta have the beat.
And more chart-topping songs with it. Berry was one of the first inductees into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Dubbed the Eternal Teenager, Berry continued touring well into his 80s, giving audiences that sound that made you move. And Chuck Berry died at his home in Missouri. He was 90 years old. Well, 2 firefighters are recovering after a water tanker they were riding in flipped over in Calvert County. That accident happened this morning just after 8 o'clock. Now, the sheriff's office says 2 Dunkirk volunteer firefighters were responding to a house fire when the tire failure caused that tanker to overturn. Both firefighters were taken to the hospital in critical but stable condition. And a scare at the White House today when a man is arrested on Pennsylvania Avenue. Press Secretary Sean Spicer wrote on Twitter that the suspect was taken into custody after jumping a bike rack, which was used as a barricade. Now, this happened in front of the White House just before 1 p.m. today. That man never made it onto the White House property. Now, that incident comes about a week after another man jumped the White House fence. And the president was not at the White House during that incident. He was in Florida, and he was tweeting about his meeting with Germany's chancellor. This while Vice President continues to work to build support for a bill that would repeal and replace Obamacare. Wendy Gillette reports for WJZ. The House of Representatives is scheduled to vote on the health care bill Thursday. Baltimore's police commissioner makes an unexpected arrest. After leaving the scene of this morning's deadly fire in North Baltimore, Commissioner Kevin Davis chased down and took a shoplifting suspect into custody. City police tweeted this picture of hair products they say that suspect tried to steal. No injuries were reported. Well, coming up on WJZ's Eyewitness News, dozens killed as dangerous floodwaters surge through Peru. The heavy rains causing this chaos. An airport attacker. Soldiers shoot and kill the suspect in Paris. The investigation after the man took the weapon of a soldier. We're seeing showers, 41 degrees in central Maryland right now. The complete first warning weather forecast is coming up. Well, the death toll climbs to more than 70 people in Peru after unusually heavy rain sparked dangerous floods and mudslides. In Lima, Peru's capital, a muddy current turned roads into dirty rivers. Hundreds of people needed help to cross those flooded roads. Lima has not had water surface since the beginning of the week. And gunshots and panic inside an airport in Paris today. A man pointed a gun at a French soldier inside the Orly airport, shouting, quote, "I am here to die in the name of Allah," end quote. 2 other soldiers shot and killed that man. Investigators say he had a can of gas in his backpack. No soldiers nor officers were seriously hurt. And emotions run high for Prince William and his wife Kate on the second day of their visit in the French capital. The royal couple met with survivors of the 2015 extremist attack on the Paris concert hall. William and Kate also made a visit to the Musée d'Orsay, where they had a guided tour of the Impressionist gallery. The trip to Paris is the prince's first since his mother died in the city back in 1997. And a big boost for dozens of neighborhoods in Baltimore City who will soon get funding to help produce special events in their community. Rick Ritter reports on how residents were greeted and congratulated by the mayor. And funding is provided through the MECU Neighborhood Event Grant. Well, in White Marsh today, the largest mobile pet adoption tour made a stop at the mall. The Tour for Life rallied, rolled into Maryland with adorable pets who are also adoptable. The Shelter on Wheels will help shelter and rescue groups in 54 cities through the end of April. Now, Barks partnered with North Shore Animal League America. That tour will cover 20,000 miles to generate animal awareness and find loving homes for dogs and cats.
Oh, they all look so cute.
They do, and today was really one of those days you want to get out and play with your animals if you have some.
You know what, Marcus? It was really nice.
Well, Mother Nature shows off her artwork in China. Melting snow created an icicle fall almost 100 feet high. Take a look there. Now, if you look at it from afar, it looks like a white ribbon fallen from the sky. But up close, if you look at it, you can see it looks like a million little icicles in a fairy palace. A beautiful sight there. Mother Nature at work. Stay with us. We'll be right back. And that's our report for Chelsea. I'm Marcus Washington. Thanks for watching. See you back here tomorrow.